Hey guys, I just put together a video for all of my clients and it was too good to not share it with you guys, so here it is. This week, let's talk about discipline as a habit and how we can put habits in that help build discipline and how discipline can help build habits. So, number one, I just want to start with a quote here from Samuel Thomas Davis, and that is self discipline is about leaning into resistance, taking action in spite of how you feel, and living a life by design and not by default. Let's hear that again, like living life by design and not by default. So not just going through the steps, but like planning that out, having a design in mind. And then most importantly, it's about acting in accordance with your thought, not your feelings. So that's from Samuel Thomas Davies. And I think it's a really powerful quote that just kind of captures everything we're trying to talk about today. So a couple of ways that we can like help ingrain discipline through adding habits and how that's going to make that shift for us. So number one is we need to change our identity around the habits that we're trying to put in place, and to become more disciplined. When we make that identity shift, it gets so much easier than trying to still identify over here but do habits over here and have this discipline, but still trying to live this life. So the example I'm going to use here is the idea of somebody who's trying to quit smoking, and somebody comes up, offers you a smoke, like, hey, you want to smoke? And the difference in our mind and like our identity and how we're thinking about things when we say, no, I'm not a smoker versus no, I'm trying to quit. No, I'm trying to quit is saying I'm a smoker, but I'm trying to stop smoking, versus no, I don't smoke is I just don't smoke. That's the only reason I'm not having a cigarette is because I don't smoke, not because I'm trying to quit something. So that's making that shift in our identity. So for a lot of this is maybe not going to be smoking related, but it might be surrounded by food. So for example, like say you go out for dinner with some friends, or you go over, better example is you go over to somebody's house for dinner and food comes out, you dish up your food, you have your food. Then at the end, they're like, hey, do you want some dessert? And you say, no, I'm trying to lose weight, versus like, no, I like eating healthy. I'm just not going to have that. Like, no, thank you, kind of thing. So that difference between like, no, I'm trying to like watch my macros, I'm trying to cut down on sugar, versus like, no, I eat healthier than that. Like, I don't want that. So that identity shift over towards that side of like, no, that's just not how I eat, versus like, oh, I really want it, but I'm supposed to be doing this like weight loss thing and not eating those sweets, that kind of thing. So making that shift and seeing that like, in the long term, I'm doing this for my health because I want to be a healthier version than what I am today. That's why I'm where I'm at. So that's the identity shift piece. And then our reminders of why. So putting in reminders of why make it so much easier to carry forward with these things that we're trying to do. So for example, if we are trying to save money, say we decided finances are important this year, we're really trying to save money, putting a little note in our wallet that is like a reminder, or maybe the background of our phone is a picture of a beach in Costa Rica with a little note in there that says something about like finances and like saving for that. And just having these little reminders, so whether it's on the background of your phone, your laptop, a little thing in your wallet, a little sticky note on a mirror, these things that are reminding us constantly of why we're trying to make this identity shift, why we're trying to trend in this direction, make this habit, and how to become more disciplined with that. The next piece is embracing the discomfort that kind of comes along with it sometimes. And as you guys know, I'm a big proponent of having cold showers. And one of the reasons, aside from all the other like health benefits that you can get from embracing cold, one of the main things for the shower is that it just sucks to go and get in the morning. And it's all about that mental game that you play with yourself. You know, it's a super simple thing. All you have to do is choose to turn that handle to cold. When you get in the morning, very simple. You know it's coming. You have total control of it. But if you get in and you make that decision each day, that's like a vote in that direction of like having that control of yourself and having that life that you've designed, versus like that default. Default, you want to go in, turn it hot, still half awake, give your head a scrub and jump out. But when you do it by design, you go in and you turn it to cold because you know it's something you don't want to do, but that you can overcome. And that leads to so many other wins in our life. So if we're able to do that, what other things are we able to do? So just embracing that little bit of discomfort that might come with it. Same thing with like exercising, right? It's like, we know this is going to be a little uncomfortable, but if I exercise regularly, I'm going to get stronger. I'm going to get fitter, all of those kind of things. Next one is you guys target sleep first. So there's a couple things depending on the person that we want to like really look to target to make the biggest changes. And those are usually going to be around exercise and getting movement, nutrition, or sleep and stress. So why I put target sleep first here is because the way our body and our brain processes things. When we're really sleep deprived, we're more likely to break our habits. So when we are looking to put habits in and become more disciplined with things, if we are getting proper sleep, it's going to be that much easier for us to stay disciplined on these things because our brain is on that next level up. It's that much clearer in our head. We're making better decisions. So sometimes putting a habit in that we want to stay really disciplined on, the best way to do that is like put it in around sleep first. So make it like at 7 or 8 p.m., like no later. That's when I put my phone down, put all the electronics down. And that's a habit that you're putting in place and you're going to stay disciplined on it, which is going to lead to better sleep, which is going to mean that in the morning, maybe you're more likely to turn that dial to cold, which starts your next thing, so on and so forth. It snowballs. But focus on building things around sleep first because it makes so much other things like that much easier to accomplish. So like our hormones change when we get good sleep, our hunger, like desire for food and the foods that we select changes. So much changes with sleep, you guys. It's so, so important. I can't even stress sleep enough, but we'll move on from that one. So just remember that, like target sleep first. Next one is meditation. So there's some studies out there that have shown that meditation actually increases our level of discipline throughout the day. Meditation can be very simple. I think a lot of us get caught up in the complexities of it, thinking it has to be one way or another. Very, very simply, what I like to do is like 5 to 10 minutes. Doesn't have to be all cross-legged in yoga pose or anything. Find a position that's comfortable for you. But like sitting upright, so nice upright torso, and then just focus on your breathing. Breath in, breath out. Just focus on that. When thoughts come up, it's 100% going to happen to you. Thoughts are going to come up. Just once you realize you're thinking about something besides your breath, be like, okay, let that one go and go back to your breath. Next one comes up. Oh, recognized it. Let it go. Back to your breath. Make that your meditation. And that's going to improve your discipline in the same way that sleep is. So when you are sleeping better, you're getting a bit of meditation in, then you can lean into these things that much more, stay that much more disciplined with these new little habits that you're putting in place. Next piece is just continuing to build these habits over time and realizing that it does take time. We don't become this amazing superhuman overnight. We have to just continually add little pieces in regularly, and that's where we get the biggest benefit, right? So when we try and add in, say, 20 things all starting day one, we know that it's just way too much, too overwhelming. We might do it for a week or two, but we're bound to fall off, and then we're going to feel bad because we fell off our goal. So start with small habits that are easy to stay disciplined on. And then once you stay disciplined on those, you're like, wow, good for me. Pat on the back, celebrate for yourself. Make sure you guys are tracking these things too. So like use some kind of a tracking app or just write it down, put it on the calendar or something so that you can see that you're tracking it and making progress. And it's about trending in this direction versus like getting it every single day. You don't have to get that meditation in every single day, or if you have your phone out at 8:30 at night instead of 8, it doesn't mean you failed. It means that you want to get back on track the next day. And as a whole, are we trending towards these healthier identity that we're looking to become, basically, right? So we're all here because we're looking to make changes. So we need to make a shift in our identity to like, I am this person, not I want to be this person. I am this person, and what habits and things do I have to do? What do I have to stay disciplined on to become that human? Like, how do I get from here to here? I have to go up and I have to go to this side. It can look like little blocks. It can come up and down. But the point is that we get there and that we're trending in that right direction. So celebrate the wins as you're coming up. Maybe it's like, hey, I did 10 days straight of meditation. I'm going to do X to celebrate for myself. Maybe it's as simple as like, I'm going to post it on Instagram. I did my first 10 days of meditation. I feel great. Whatever it is, use something that you're able to track it with, and then start with small habits and then build more and more and more on there and stay disciplined with it along the way. Building habits builds discipline. Discipline builds habits. And then remember too, the discipline is so much more important than motivation. Motivation is that piece where it's like, I'm all fired up. Something's got me excited about this or triggered about this, or I'm worried about this. I've suddenly got motivation. That's great, but that's going to run out. Where discipline is like a muscle that you can work out. So like, in the same way that when you do squats every single day and add weight and reps, you're going to get stronger legs. Discipline works in the exact same way. Continue to test yourself with it every day and trying to grow every day with it. So like day one of getting in a cold shower might be really tough. Same way that the first time you go to squat might be really tough. But by day 30, jumping in that cold shower is going to feel a whole lot easier. Same way that amount of weight that you were squatting felt a whole lot easier on day 30 than day one. So those are the things we want to do to help build discipline and habits, and use habits to build discipline. They kind of go back and forth. All right, you guys, I hope you loved this video. If you did, hit the like button and then also hit the subscribe button so you can catch more stuff like this on how we can improve our health.